and I'm from the United States, born and raised. Most students at Texas Tech can say the same. In fact, we only have 8% of our students who identify as being of foreign residency. Where I diverge from the majority of the student population is in another area. 84% of our students claim Texas residency. My view on this statistic and on my student experience at Texas Tech has shifted over the years, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I'll start by telling you something that I don't tell most people. I was absolutely miserable at Texas Tech the majority of my freshman year. I really started to hate the word y'all. And I found that the trip home was about 1,800 miles too far. It was not possible for me to go home to visit my family for a weekend, and that was really hard for me. I started to resent the really flat, dusty Lubbock landscape, and I felt very alone in my state of non-Texas residency. I considered transferring to a good school, one that might be closer to home, and this may surprise, but I did not end up transferring. I eventually got over myself a little bit and also got into my classes, and I started to really appreciate all of the interesting and unique facts, or interesting and unique points about being in Texas. People in Lubbock are very friendly, and I really started to enjoy that. I also developed a strong appetite for tacos and made some really good friends. So, I guess the little cherry on top of that has been me being able to study abroad the summer before my junior year. I went to Copenhagen, and I fell in love. I've never been one to be particularly nervous about traveling on my own, and even after my Amsterdam arrival in Copenhagen, I was more excited than I was nervous or overwhelmed to finally be in the land of tall lawns and black licorice. In the next few weeks that followed my arrival, I got to explore in many ways, and the experiences that I had are ones that I know that I'll always remember. Whether it's just wandering down the streets or sitting in a cafe to do homework with my classmates, I really was able to experience the yoga that so many Danish people rant and rave about. I was also able to take a quick trip downtown out of the European Union and into Christiania with my Danish friends. And I almost fell off a bike one time. It was kind of scary, but I didn't fall off, so it was good. I was also able to visit a very famous museum called the Louisiana. This museum is named after the founder's 3 wives. All were named Louise. And let me clarify, the founder was one man, so yeah. So basically my study abroad experience was really amazing. It was magical almost for me. But unless it changed the FLE content, you probably heard a pretty similar story to mine. Lots of people have really amazing experiences when they study abroad. My process of re-entry might be a little bit more unique and interesting to hear about. It was only after I came back to the United States that I was really able to reflect on my experiences as a student at Tech. And what I realized didn't come right away, or even in the first few weeks that followed my re-entry. In fact, the biggest thing that I realized only occurred to me after just a few weeks ago. And this, basically what I realized, came to me while I was at home, just sitting on the couch, and my little brother was throwing snowballs out the window. I am from the United States, born and raised, but for me, studying at Texas Tech has been like studying abroad. I have been more consistently surprised and sometimes confused by what people here say and by what they hold dearest than in Copenhagen. Yes, of course, Denmark is still foreign and full of surprises, but in many ways the culture and the expectations there were more familiar to me than those here. In conclusion, I knew that studying here at Texas Tech was going to be full of new experiences for me, and I really wasn't all that nervous coming into it. I really liked exploring, and I didn't want to go to school close to home. Also, the opportunities for presented to me here, such as the Honors College, were really too good for me to pass up. Now that I've had my experience of studying abroad and I've been able to reflect on my experiences both there and here, I've really been able to appreciate Texas Tech for all it has to offer and my growth while I've been here. So, I am from the Northeast, born and raised, and more specifically, I'm from Southwestern Connecticut. Thank you.